Are you tired of getting your offers not accepted, especially in this hot market? Well, I got some tips to help you so you can get your offer accepted, so stay tuned. So not too long ago, I had a listing and I had a buyer call me about that listing. And unfortunately at that time when the buyer called, the listing was already pending. And so I offered this buyer an opportunity to create a portal for the buyer so that he could see homes in real time through our MLS, which is better than Zillow and Realtor.com and all those other search sites. And he opted to not take advantage of that. He told me that basically he likes to go directly to the listing agent because he feels that his offers have a better chance of getting approved. So I told the buyer that actually going to the listing agent directly will put you at a disadvantage because the listing agent's obligation is to the seller. That's their fiduciary obligation is to sell the house for the most money possible for the seller. And so I proceeded to give him some tips on what he can do for making the offers that he's placing much more favorable. And that way he'll have a chance to actually get the house on the next offer that he presents. So what I wind up doing is I gave him 4 tips that he could do to make his offers much more presentable. So I told him the first tip was, if you are financing, I think he was a conventional buyer, and if he's going to be offering financing, that to put an appraisal contingency, meaning that whatever the house would appraise for, to have extra money to put on top. In this case, he was doing $5,000 above the appraisal value. So if the house came in appraised at 300, he would go ahead and put 305 on top of that, making his offer stronger. The second tip that I gave him was that to look at the terms. Sometimes the terms are a lot better. Now, because he's conventional, he's at the mercy of the lender, but a lot of the times with the terms, you can go ahead and request a commitment letter a little bit less than 30 days. You can also request that the lender call the listing agent to assure them that the buyer is very well approved and that everything is in place so that he's able to close on time. And the third tip I gave to this buyer was to beef up the terms of the contract. For example, the inspection period, to decrease the inspection period to 7 days. Now, any realtor worth their grain and salt should have a list of inspectors that they have available in order to meet that time requirement. And the fourth tip I gave him was to put a higher escrow deposit amount, and that to possibly add another escrow deposit after the inspection period if everything goes well. So in the end, after talking with this buyer over his situation, the buyer actually wound up becoming my client. He liked what I had to say, he liked the suggestions I gave him, and he became my client. And ultimately we wind up finding a beautiful house, fell in love with it, we passed an offer, and we got the house. So if you are in a situation where you're thinking, man, I can't compete in this market, I'm in financing, I'm conventional, FHA, VA, don't worry. There's ways to win offers, and I would be the right guy to help you. You can give me a call at the number listed below. My name is Bernie Stiller with Remax Realty Group of Team Stiller, and don't forget, I'll be the key to your future.